Chris Lee, he likes the Commodores to start the season 1-0. It's time for us to break his game down, Shane. Vanderbilt taking the long road trip out to Hawaii. The Commodores, incredibly favored by 8 points on the road. Definitely could not have said that last season. But this is a new Vanderbilt, Shane, and this is a new Hawaii, and that ain't good news for Hawaii because we've got a year advantage. If we're Vanderbilt, we're in year 2 of the program. The over-under, 53 points. This game kicks off at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on the CBS Sports Network. Who do you like in the ball game, Shane?
Oh, Mike, we finally got some SEC football on TV. Come on now. It's going to be late, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it, Mike. You know, I think this Vanderbilt team has been shit on long enough, brother. And I'm not saying they're going to come out here and, win the SEC championship. I'm not saying that, Mike. But I think that we finally see a little progression here. I think we see the step forward and a little bit of that competitive depth that Coach Lee has been putting together there in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And, say what you want. There was a lot of games last year they could have just packed their bags and just went home. But there was a lot of fight in this team, a lot of grit. And I think that comes from the top down. And I think we see that. Here's a Vanderbilt team that has gone out to Hawaii. They've been out there for 4 months now preparing for this thing. They're acclimated with the weather, the volcanic activity. These guys they are pretty much native to Hawaii at this moment. And I like them to steamroll what do they call it? The Rainbow Warriors?
I think they're just the Warriors now, but I still call them the Rainbow Warriors.
Well, that's what we grew up to. So why change it now? Somebody trademark that one, like the Gamecock there. But I say this, Mike. I say that we get a little dose of SEC play. This Hawaii team is bad. They got 50 new players on that roster, and probably 2 of them are good. So give me Vanderbilt 35, Hawaii 21.
Well, Shane,
that is my wager of the week.
Wager of the week. Yeah, that sounds great. But, hey, I love what you had to say there, Shane. Hawaii, they only got 5 starters back from last year, Shane, and only 1 of them on defense. So, yes, Vanderbilt struggled last year, particularly on offense, really on both sides of the ball, but I think their offense is really going to find its stride in this game. Hawaii's got a new coach, new quarterback, new offense. They got 3 quarterbacks. They're still battling out for the job. The game's tomorrow, Shane. I mean, we're well past time of these battles, and it sounds like the guy that Hawaii's going to start at quarterback, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions last season. They lost their starting quarterback, starting rusher, leading receiver, and leading tackler to the transfer portal, whereas Vanderbilt, Anthony Orji, their star linebacker, freshman edge, Darren Agu, both expected to be able to go for this game. 4 or 5 back on the offensive line. Yeah, the offensive line was a struggle bus for Vanderbilt last year, but I feel like going into year 2, that could potentially be a much more consistent group, particularly facing this Hawaii team that I said has only got 1 defender back from that starting lineup. I think Vanderbilt is going to lean on the ground game, Shane, and that is why I am taking the Commodores as my wager of the week, 31-13.
Ooh.
And how about this, Shane? Here's prize pick selection here. I like 2. Ramon Davis, the outstanding running back, his over-under over at Prize Picks, it's only 72.5 rushing yards in this ballgame. He's going for 150 in this game. Ooh. He's going to double up his Prize Picks over-under. So jump on Ramon Davis there on Prize Picks. And I'll even go a step further, Shane. Mike Wright, our starting quarterback.
Yes.
Over under 35.5 rushing yards.
Oh, come on.
He's
in the first quarter.
Well, I was going to say first half, but first quarter is even better, Shane. So get you in on that action. Mike Wright, Ramon Davis, both going over on the rushing total. Again, Vanderbilt 31, Hawaii 13. The Commodores get off to a great start to the season.
I think Mike Wright, like you said, gets a great start too. This is somebody we talked about at SEC Media Days. I think it's a good look for Vanderbilt. It's the next factor they need. They need somebody mobile, because they don't especially when they get into SEC plays. It's going to be tough for these big hogs up front to go against some of the defenses they're going to face. You need a mobile quarterback to kind of neutralize that attack. And I think we see it full force there in Hawaii. So I like that rushing on Prize Picks. I'd definitely go over myself.